I'm in love! I'm in love! Yippee! Xenu? I do my own stuff! Hello and welcome to the Cruising Altitude podcast, the only podcast focusing entirely on the filmography of actor and Scientologist Tom Cruise. I am your host, Blake, or you may know me as Smokey's Videos, and this is my other host, Saul.
Hello.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This month we will be discussing the 1983, teen drama, I guess? Nah, that makes it sound like it's like Degrassi or something.
I mean, it tried to be, I guess.
I'll just say drama. Is it a coming-of-age movie? It doesn't... It feels a little sad to be a coming-of-age movie. It's a realistic coming-of-age movie. Yeah. Anyway, we are talking about the 1983 film All the Right Moves.
So you guys are going to go on in your lives, you're going to achieve some great successes, and I hope and pray you do. But no matter what the future's going to bring, there's seldom going to be a moment like tonight when you hold it all in your hands. Together! And that's how we're going to win this game. We're going to win it together! We're going to win together! Come on now!
Tom Cruise is Stefan Djordjevic, a kid whose dreams are bigger than the town he lives in.
What are you looking for, Steph?
Looking to trade football for an education and still be able to walk.
I hate football. I just like to watch number 33 run around in those tight black pants.
His future depends on getting out.
I mean, now you can't even get a job in that damn mill.
You mean that mill over there where your father works? Where your brother works?
Well, my brother was laid off.
You too good for us or something?
No, sir, I just want to go to college.
But the odds are against him.
Now you do it my way or it's a highway, Djordjevic.
I want to see some film on Riley, Djordjevic, and Oliver.
Djordjevic, I gotta take a pass on him.
Why? The kid's real tough.
No, he's got an attitude problem, sure.
He's a kid, and he wants to go to college and be something.
What's wrong with you, son? I vow. You bite. You dig.
And your husband's stopping him.
Oh, where are you going? On the bus. No, this is the wrong bus, son. This is for players. You ride back with the cheerleaders.
You know, if he leaves here, you'll probably lose him.
Any quitters here? No, sir! Didn't hear you. No, sir! You cost us the game. You quit.
We didn't quit. You quit.
In everyone's life, there comes a moment when you gotta make your move
Look, we're getting out of here, Brian.
and fight back. For Stefan Djordjevic, that moment is now.
Together. 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 Scholarship here, no scholarship there. He goes, he stays. Who gave you that power? You're just a high school football coach.
This is a story of courage, of love, of all the right moves. Tom Cruise, All the Right Moves.
But, as always, before we get into this, we have to talk about some 4 Tom Cruise fun facts.
Of course.
I haven't really read these yet. I just sort of copy and pasted them this morning. Because, like I said, I slept in way too long. So, are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Number 1 fact. First and only directorial debut for Tom Cruise is in the 1993 neo-noir TV show Fallen Angels episode The Frightening Framus. That's the only thing he's ever directed.
Nice.
And here is a synopsis I got from IMDb, I guess, for this episode. We meet our anti-hero, grafter Mitch Allison, disheveled and walking by the side of the road. He tells us in a flashback narrative how he stole $25,000 from his con artist wife, Betty, and jumped on a train hoping to double the money in a scam. He meets Sultry Babe, the pig, and gets involved in more than he bargained for. The twists and turns never stop in this fast-paced tale.
What's the show about? Is it like
It's a noir film or noir show?
Oh.
I guess it's like some sort of detective thing.
So like every episode is a different like.
Maybe that's what it sounds like
Yeah.
because I'm pretty sure this isn't the first episode.
Yeah.
Mitch Allison, he's disheveled. I like to imagine it starts off like the Hulk show from the 60s where he's like hitchhiking along the side of the road, and then we get just flashbacks of him. Tom Cruise, second fun fact. Tom Cruise is of Irish and German and English ancestry. His Irish heritage dates back 840 years. There are knights, barons, and rebels in the Cruise family tree. Even so, his Irish accent in the film Far and Away has appeared on several worst accents in films lists.
It's okay. I would make that list if I was an actor.
What would your accent be? That you fail terribly at?
Everything that's not Mexican, so like...
Ay caramba!
Oh, God.
You would be a South African. It's very offensive.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. The third fun fact is that Tom Cruise reportedly refuses to sign on to a movie unless the producers let him do his own stunts. Because you know he does his own stunts.
Yeah.
Broke his ankle on the recent Mission Impossible film. Speaking of stunts, in 1999, the producers of The Matrix considered him for the lead role.
Ooh.
Instead of Keanu Reeves.
I do not think that would have worked
No.
out. 'Cause,
Have you seen Minority Report?
I've heard... I know the name.
It's kind of like Matrix, I guess.
Hmm.
There's also Equilibrium, which is Christian Bale.
Oh.
And, oh my god, do you know what... Have you heard of the amazing gun kata? It's like karate, but with guns.
Oh, yeah.
It's like it takes place in a weird post-apocalyptic world where all the police wear black trench coats that are leather and motorcycle helmets, and they have machine guns.
I think I, like, stumbled upon that in the TV tropes. Like, when you go into, like, a bunch of the tropes.
Oh, yeah. Just keep falling in.
Yeah. But, yeah, I don't think that would have worked out, because, you know, I think the only reason that movie worked out is because Keanu Reeves, like, kind of emotionless style of acting really fit the character, and Tom doesn't.
Whoa. I'm in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Oh man, did you see John Wick Chapter 3?
Mm-mm.
Me neither, I need to go see it. But they announced that Chapter 4 is gonna come out like next year. What if it's revealed it's in the Matrix?
Oh shit.
That Neo got captured and they're just playing like weird false memories of things to him, and he thinks he's John Wick.
Does the dog still show up in flashbacks in like the other two movies?
Oh my god. Oh, somebody should edit The Matrix and John Wick into one movie.
It's all because of the dog.
Oh jeez. Which the dog is the third pill. That's all the fun facts for this month. Who would have thought that after, 6 episodes, I'm starting to run short. So let's move right on to all the right moves facts. Here is, this is the synopsis from IMDb. A high school football player desperate for a scholarship and his headstrong coach clash in a dying Pennsylvania steel town.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. That is it, yeah. Now that you think about it, it's a very basic story concept. And on the poster, it says, he has everything at stake. He can't afford to lose. He's got to make all the right moves. Wow. It's like they stole that from like a poetry reading.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say, wow, now the title makes sense. These are all very generic titles, like Risky Business, All the Right Moves.
Losing It.
Taps is good.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
That's a good one. What about... Oh, The Outsiders. That was a book, so was Endless Love.
Yeah.
Losing It. And we're losing it.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's what I thought was going to happen in this movie when they started playing the All the Right Moves theme song.
Oh, just
I was like,
over.
oh, no, it's another Losing It. Let's see. All the Right Moves was directed by Michael Chapman, who worked as the cinematographer for Raging Bull, The Fugitive, and Taxi Driver.
Taxi Driver.
That's the Scorsese De Niro movie where he has like the mohawk and he's like, "You talking to me?"
Oh, yeah.
And then The Fugitive, that's with Harrison Ford, where I didn't kill my wife. And Raging Bull is another De Niro Scorsese film where he's a boxer.
I think that's the only one I haven't heard of.
I've heard of it. It's apparently pretty good. I just haven't seen it.
Mm.
And the film stars Craig T. Nelson.
I know that name.
Yeah? From what?
I just know the name.
He is from The Incredibles.
Oh.
He plays Mr. Incredible.
Oh, nice.
He was also in Poltergeist. And a lot of other shows where he plays a football coach. He really got typecasted as the role of sports coach.
So he was the coach in this movie?
Mm-hmm.
Why did I not recognize the voice? Oh my god. Shit. Now I gotta watch it again.
Yeah.
And just
How did you watch this?
I went to a lot of movie shops and rented it.
Oh, you went to Best Buy.
Yeah. No, I went to Blockbuster.
Oh, that's what I meant to say. Both out-of-date stores. Did you know Best Buy got rid of like all their movies?
Yeah, I went there once, and it's like
all I found was like little round bins.
Yeah,
and like trash cans.
Physical media is only like albums now.
Yeah, well, vinyl's coming back, baby.
Yeah.
I bought it for $4 on YouTube because I
nice.
couldn't find it anywhere.
Oh, my bad.
I guess you took the only copy in our town because I went to Blockbuster too and they were out.
I forgot to send you the copy. My bad.
The film also stars Lea Thompson, who was in Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3, and also Howard the Duck. She plays the love interest in Howard the Duck.
Oh, that's cool.
Is it? She has sex with a duck.
What?
Mm-hmm. Chris Penn, he played Brian, who was in Reservoir Dogs and Footloose.
Not Family Guy?
No, maybe. I wouldn't be surprised.
You know Brian, the dog.
Boo! I thought you were going for Chris, the son.
Oh.
And of course, Tom Cruise, or as we like to call him, Thomas Cruise Mapother the Fourth.
Mm-hmm.
Most people, when you get to know them at a certain level, you go more familiar, and you're like, "Hey, Tom. Hey, how's it going, buddy?" No, we go even more official. We say their entire name, whether they use it or not.
Yeah, out of respect.
Yeah, we have so much respect for him.
Mm-hmm.
This film had a budget of $5.6 million. Guess what the box office returns was?
7.2.
You're close with a number.
Just like backwards or what?
$17,233,166.
Must have been a good ass trailer.
It's all right. I watched it. It's not very good.
When I was trying to find it, where to watch it,
Blockbuster.
I saw it on Amazon Prime. I'm like, oh, well, that's convenient. But it was just a trailer for some reason. Yeah, but I didn't bother to watch it.
Okay, so that's all the most facts. These are some facts I took from IMDb directly. This is the first time that Tom Cruise has a first name above the title top billing on a movie poster. He didn't get such in the same year's Risky Business, where Tom had the top billing, but it wasn't name above the title. The film's title, All the Right Moves, is a double entendre referring to both human decision-making and match play.
What?
You want me to read it again?
I'm good.
Look, whoever was writing that was getting pretty deep on IMDb.
Yeah.
The director wanted Lea Thompson and Tom Cruise to go undercover to remember what a high school is like. Take note, they were only about 21 or 22 when this came out.
That's like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I feel like at that point they would get... Well, at least Tom Cruise would get recognized immediately.
Oh. Well, funny you should say that while they went to separate schools, Tom Cruise was spotted just one day after because someone recognized him from Taps. Thompson went for 4 days, and was asked out by so many guys and got caught smoking.
Oh. Well, it is the 80s.
Yeah, it was okay then. Tom Cruise and Lea Thompson perform a majority of their own nudity in their love scene. However, body doubles were used for insert shots. Heyo. The same body doubles were also used earlier in the film for insert shots in the makeout scene in the car.
That's that's a weird way to describe it.
Stefan, which is Tom Cruise's character, is supposed to be Serbian American.
Is that why that one dude calls her like a derogatory name?
Oh, it was like Polak or something?
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. Are you talking about the fat guy?
Yeah.
What the fuck was wrong with him?
I know.
What the fuck? And nobody did anything.
Yeah, he should have.
Who was he?
I don't know.
Was he the principal?
That would have been fucked up.
He's that fat principal from The Outsiders.
I think he was like a kind of, not the boss, but like a higher up in that mill.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because his buddy Hyde from that 70s show.
I thought the same thing. Same like dress styles.
Big ass glasses.
Yeah.
Fun fact, he's also a Scientologist.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I know, right? We don't have one opinion one way or the other. Please don't attack us, Scientology.
Completely neutral.
Mm-hmm.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, like that one scene at the bar. I thought the bartender was gonna be like nice and kick that dude out.
Yeah, he's just like,
you
knock it off. I'll wave my little bat at you. I thought he was gonna like hit him on the head or something, but he's like, stop it, guys.
Set up a bat to like a little newspaper, like no.
A little spray bottle. In the scene in which Ampipe's team bus is pulling into Walnut Heights for the big game, Jonestown's Votech School in Richland Township was used as Walnut Heights School, which is actually about 5 miles away from where the game was played, the Point Stadium in downtown Jonestown.
Interesting.
This was the first big role playing a football coach for Craig T. Nelson, who would later become perhaps best known to audiences for his character of football coach Hayden Fox on the television series Coach. Very simple.
Very deep title.
Yeah.
Are there any like other actors like that where
They just get typecasted as...
Yeah.
Yes. Tom Cruise, he always gets typecast as an action star, even though, as we've seen, he does amazing in any role he's given.
I'm trying to think of like other people.
I'm gonna Google actors who are typecast.
Does it count if Adam Sandler...
It does it to himself?
Yeah. Literally the exact same person in all of his movies.
Angelina Jolie, the tough sex pot.
What the hell is a sex pot?
Oh, if you have to ask, you can't afford it. Alec Baldwin, the snarling asshole. This is from Games Radar.
Okay, that Michael Cera one makes sense.
Michael Cera, the awkward indie geek. Gary Oldman, the sadist nutcase. That's not true. James Corden wasn't a nutcase. Seth Rogen, Jim Carrey, I guess.
I can hear the laugh.
Are you excited for the Lion King remake?
Oh, he's
he plays Pumbaa?
Yeah, I am.
If only they got James Franco to do Timon. I was going to say something, but I can't remember, so I'll just move on to the next part. In 2018, Lea Thompson stated she initially did not want the part, as the script required her to participate in 2 nude scenes. But Tom Cruise persuaded the producers to drop one of the scenes, and volunteered to appear fully nude himself in the other to make her more comfortable. He's like, yeah, I'll get naked in front of Lea Thompson.
That's fair, right?
Yeah.
But there was like no man ass anyway, so.
No, but I'm pretty sure I saw a dick.
I think so too.
I rewound and slowed it down to see if I could see it.
Frame by frame.
Yeah. Tom Cruise suffered a minor concussion during the filming. I feel like that's the second time that's happened.
trying to think of when that would have happened. I guess like during that bar with that asshole dude.
Maybe during something football related.
Oh yeah, I forgot the whole.
The biggest plot point, and you forgot that there's football in it. See, that's how good the story is. That you forget. Here's a amazing fact. The movie was filmed in the spring, not fall. Notice there are 0 leaves on the ground.
Wow.
This is actually fairly interesting. The film was produced by Lucille Ball's production company. Although Lucille Ball Productions gets on-screen credit, her involvement in the production was minimized in publicity out of concerns that the film's content would tarnish her public image. I Love Lucy.
Oh.
That's her.
Oh, yeah.
But that's the last of the facts. So let's get right into the discussion. And by that I mean I'm going to take a drink of water. How does the movie start? Oh, it's the mill, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it actually starts with, what is it? Fox Studios. Rest in peace.
Just another stone in the collection.
Let's see. So, do you remember what the town's called? This weird little Pennsylvania steel town? Anyway, the film begins in a Pennsylvania steel town, and we see some blue-collar workers leaving work. And,
I want to say it starts with an M.
Oh, no, it's Ampipe.
Oh, Ampipe.
Because they're the Ampipe Bulldogs.
Oh, right.
Woo! And it, like, intercuts with 2 guys driving home from work at the factory, and Tom Cruise's character, Stefan.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Getting ready for school. And I predicted very early that Stefan is the son of a blue-collar worker who is a jock with a heart of gold who wants to make it big, or makes it big in football, but has to leave his life behind to do so.
That heart of gold part is a little far-fetched.
Yeah.
He's kind of selfish.
What do you mean? Give me 28 examples of where he's selfish.
Show you the whole movie. I think this is the first time he doesn't wear tighty whities.
Oh my god. He was growing up in the world. Tom looks pretty ripped in this movie, I have as a note.
Mm-hmm. I'd agree.
He was a football player, so... He really... What year did Taps... Taps was 2 years prior. And then losing it.
That was the peak
Yeah.
form.
So far in his career, Taps was his peak. Aside from, like, the weird haircut.
Yeah. But it works for that character.
Yeah.
That, like...
Insane person. And then all of the, like, entire intro with, like, the opening credits and everything is overlaid to the song Make All the Right Moves. Which plays only twice, I think, during the film. Mm-hmm. Which is a lot better than Losing It.
Yeah.
Where it played every 5 minutes. Oh, yeah. So finally the car pulls up to, like, a little shitty house, and Stefan is coming out with his, like, books and everything. Mm-hmm. And 2 guys get out. I thought maybe they were, like, 2 gay guys. Like, they were his dads.
That would have been progressive.
Yeah, I know. And in a steel town, too, in Pennsylvania. I have right here, Tom has 2 dads, or they carpool, or it's his brother. I like to believe the first one, even though it's his brother. Oh yeah, so Tom is walking to school, and then that 46 or 58-year-old fat man drives down the street with a bunch of other kids in the back of his car and picks him up. Do they talk about anything? Oh, he's like, oh, we're gonna beat the... whoever the fuck, the walnut... Oh, God, I'm falling apart. Let me silence this. I'm sorry about that, everyone. I'm so disheveled. Just like,
What does that word mean?
Hey. Let's move on. I'm disheveled, just like Nick Allison, or whatever his name was, from The Frightening Framus. So they drive to school, which is right next to a freeway or something.
Yeah, because, like...
the school's parking lot is under an overpass.
It's a very crowded town.
Yeah, it's a very... Yeah, especially, like, did you see how steep those houses were on the side of the hill? It looked like Tim Burton designed it.
Isn't that what, like, San Francisco is like, too?
Yeah, more or less, I guess. But this was, like, to the extreme.
Yeah. Imagine an earthquake. Ooh.
Oh my god. I can't even. Then he just sort of goes to school at the beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
He runs into one of his fellow football players who says that he wants to donate his dick to Charlotte if he ever dies.
Yeah. For science.
Yeah, for science. He has very greasy and wet hair. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
It was kind of gross. Even more than when he played a literal greaser.
Wasn't it because it was, like, raining?
I guess so, but... Nah. What happens when he gets to school? Did you talk to Brian?
He, like, makes out with his girlfriend.
Oh, that's right.
And
Yeah, he meets his girlfriend and his buddy and his girlfriend, which I think is Brian, and they just talk about football.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to typing class. You want to tell the audience what happens during typing class, Saul?
What's that guy's name? He's, like, Italian, right?
Salvucci? I have it somewhere. Salvucci, or something like that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And he's a football player, too.
Yeah, he's on the football team. I think it's Salvucci, so you can just refer to him as that while you explain the scene.
So, Stefan?
Yeah, Stefan.
Stefan's, I guess, buddy was trying to show him, like, his parlor trick.
No, he was trying to show that girl, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Because Tom was, like, kept throwing shit at her to
Yeah.
get her to turn around.
And she was still smiling the whole time.
Yeah.
I would have gotten pretty pissed off.
She's like, holy, how does he do it?
So, so he, makes their little student desk levitate. Somehow.
I wouldn't say levitate. I'd say raise up a little bit.
1 inch?
Yeah, but how does he do? What does he have to do to make it levitate? He has to put in a lot of effort.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out how he did it. I think he's like a, what's it called? Telepath?
That or there's a little lip on the desk. A little overhang. Basically, what Saul isn't telling you, because he's a gentleman, is that Tom's friend, something Salvucci, sits behind him in class, and it's one of those desks that has, like, the raising lid.
Mm-hmm.
So he closes his eyes really hard and imagines something. And maybe it's Lea Thompson and Howard the Duck. And his desk lid starts to lift up.
Mm-hmm.
From a force I think you can figure out from the perfect lap height.
And did she, like, laugh?
I think she's like, hey!
She's like, oh, disgusting.
Don't fucking look at me again.
I'm telling the principal.
And do you want to explain what happens when Coach Nickerson, played by Craig T. Nelson, starts walking down the aisles of the desks?
So Stefan tries to, like, make him realize that the teacher's coming over here.
But
or
he's
the
way
coach.
too into it.
Yeah, so he, like, fucking slams down on the desk.
He does like a hammer slam with
Yeah.
his fist on the desk.
Which,
Oh,
I think would hurt a little bit.
a little bit. Oh, man.
He snapped it.
Oh, God. I read a story one time where that happened to somebody.
Oh.
They were like laying in bed or something. They rolled over.
Oh, God. Was their bed made out of bricks?
It was the floor.
Oh.
Needless to say, it looked like there was a what's a purple fruit? Not a grape. Is there a purple fruit that's bigger?
An eggplant? Is that a fruit?
No, maybe like a date. Anyway, it looked like there's a date halfway up his shaft.
Oh God.
Oh.
Does it stay like that?
I assume it gets better eventually.
Ooh.
Maybe that's why he was so pissed for the rest of the movie.
I think anyone would be.
Let's see. So that happens, and Stefan, what happens after that class?
I think it just goes to like their football practice.
Oh, okay.
Because they're like in the locker room or whatever.
Oh, that's right. Oh no, it cuts to
Them at the theater.
in
Or
the
no-
auditorium,
Yeah.
hiding out. And Stefan says that he wants to be an engineer because he's tired of his family having no say in what happens to the metal they make in the factories, and that he doesn't want to end up like his two dads. Then Dick Miller shows up. That was the teacher in the hallway. He's like a character actor that's been in a lot of films. But that's his only scene in the movie. And then it cuts to the shower scene with Chris Penn from Reservoir Dogs. Do you remember what happens? I have a note right here that there's a high school, in quotes, football player that is as hairy as a bear.
Oh, yeah, that one dude. They all look, again, way past high school age. I think the only one that's passable is Lea Thompson.
Oh, yeah.
Because she was pretty
She
young.
was a year older than Tom Cruise.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He was 21, I think, and she was 22. So yeah, it's just the football players chilling out in the locker room. What did they do besides the...
They were dancing.
Yeah, the somewhat like semi-homoerotic dance scene. That was weird. What was that?
I guess that's like the director thinking what.
That's what high school's kids do.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something Tom Cruise picked up on his one day at high school. So that happens, and then they go do some football practice in the mud, and there's just a weird close-up montage scene where you just have no idea what the hell is happening, because it's just so chaotic.
Yeah.
Then Coach Nickerson orders the team to keep running the play until they get it right. And later that night, after the football practice and whatever, does anything happen at the football practice? Okay, why does he have a golf club?
Yeah.
Why does the coach always carry a golf club with him?
Discipline.
I guess so. I was thinking, does he use it to hit them? Mm-hmm. Spanks them when they're bad boys.
Oh, no.
So later that night, after Stefan Djordjevic.
Starts with a D.
It's actually a J.
Really?
I think so. Oh no, it is. It's a DJ. But the D is silent.
Not for long.
Yeah, that's true for sure. Anyway. But yeah, Djordjevic, I think, because the recruiter for some college that they're meeting with mispronounces it, and one of the dads corrects him.
Oh, yeah.
But then in the trailer for the movie...
They're just going with it.
In the trailer for this movie, the voiceover guy says Djordjevic. So he didn't watch it.
No.
What a amateur. Let's see. I don't think they say what college the recruiter's from, just that because Tom is a pretty, like, a star athlete, he gets to basically go to any college he wants. Mm-hmm. Which is kind of fucked up. They cover that subject later.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah. Tom says that there's not much room for a 4'10". He's short, but he's not that short. Not much room for a 5'10" quarterback in the NFL. Incorrect. Only, what year did this come out? 3 years later, Doug Flutie would play on the Chicago Bears in 1986 and the Patriots in 88. He was 5'10".
Nice.
And Sonny Jurgensen played for the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Redskins.
do they make up their own names?
It's like stage names.
Yeah. Oh, imagine if they got like stage names in football. Someone just calls himself the Undertaker. The Pain Train.
That's what the cheerleaders call him.
That was good.
Oh fuck! I spilled water on myself. Where were we? Oh yeah, but I looked those up because I was like, why not? Then the recruiter, he like gets offended.
Oh yeah.
Like, what did he get offended about?
I think it's like because he said he wanted to look at other options.
Oh, that's right.
He's like, well, go fuck yourself.
This is a fun, like, this movie is basically on the opposite side of the spectrum from Risky Business. Because he was like a shitty kid who got into college because he's rich and had a whorehouse. Mm-hmm. And he's a pretty good kid. He's better, who would you say is a better person? Tom Cruise in Risky Business or Tom Cruise in All the Right Moves?
Definitely this one. Because the worst, like, he may be a little selfish, but the worst he did is just, like, throw some trash in the guy's yard.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think he's a better kid.
Agreed. Let's see. Recruiter gets offended and leaves. Right. Oh, I have a note here where I was trying to figure out who Tom's other dad is. Let's see. So later that night, Lisa and Stefan. Lisa is Lea Thomas's character, Thompson's. They get it on in her car. Titty touchdown. And then
I bet that one place they were at is where they all go.
Oh yeah, that's make out.
Make out point.
Yeah. And then he kind of sexually assaults her.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't want to do it, and he keeps going for a little bit.
I was worried it was gonna be one of those scenes.
Oh yeah. What else happens during that scene? What do they do? Is she's just like, I don't want to go that far. I don't want to move that quickly yet.
Yeah. And then he's like, okay. But it's kind of your fault.
Oh, yeah. He brought up, like, Brian or somebody, didn't he? Because she got upset. He was like, well, you thinking more about what they think of you up here than...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess he, like... He was trying to do that just to score points with his buddies.
And
which probably you shouldn't bring up, like...
Yeah, you should not say that. Oh, that's what we could do. We could become relationship experts. Then we cut to another practice where the coach freaks out at some fat player, and he makes him get out on his hands and knees and bark like a dog.
Yeah.
What the fuck? And he still has his golf club.
Would have been funnier if we made him squeal.
Oh, no.
Completely demoralize him.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised because he does seem to be getting pretty paranoid that his team is going to fuck up his chances of getting into a college job.
Yeah.
Coaching football. But yeah, there's some, like, I don't know, character development where we learn that Coach Nickerson is also meeting with recruiters and trying to become a coach for a college football team.
Everyone just wants to leave.
Oh, fuck yeah. Who wants to stay in shitty Ampipe? Besides that fat guy who loves high school football players.
He's like that one person that can't like let go of the high school days.
Oh, he definitely played on that team. Then after the second practice, we get a pep rally with a bunch of ass shots of cheerleaders.
He was always on the bench. He never played a single game.
He just tells everybody he did.
I would have made steak, but my elbow fucked up.
I was leaning on it too much while I was sitting on the bench. Then there's the pep rally. And let's see.
It was more enthusiastic than mine.
Yeah?
Like the people getting into it.
In the pep rally you had to put on and speak for yourself.
Exactly.
How many people showed up to that one?
3.
Oh. Who is it that's talking? Is it the fat man? Bosco? I'm pretty sure that was his name.
Was he?
Or is it...
He's not the principal, right?
I don't think so. I don't know. He could very well be.
I hope not.
I kind of hope so. It's somebody, like a teacher or a faculty member, maybe the coach, I can't remember.
They're not important.
Yeah, they're giving a speech for the Pep Rally, and they say the other school, in reference to Walnut Heights, has a swim team, a tennis team, and a golf team. Cue audience booing. Which I thought was fun.
Yeah.
I think it was the coach, because I wondered why he said golf team, even though he always carries a golf club. And then Brian pulls Stefan aside and tells him that he got his girlfriend pregnant.
Oh, yeah?
Like, in a doorway to the bathroom, like, at the Pep Rally.
That was finally something interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, shit. You just ruined your life.
Yeah. What did they say? Oh, yeah, what is it? Stefan tells Brian that, like, he should ask his recruiter about it or something, see if they can help him out.
Can you kill my girlfriend?
Can you give me a coat hanger?
Is there not, like... Were condoms not invented yet or
yeah,
something?
I know. Fucking what? That was the 80s. Nobody realized it.
Not even, like, a little Snickers wrapper?
Oh, God, that would hurt.
Yeah.
Especially after you broke your dick. But Brian's just like, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do, man.
Yeah.
I was gonna go to college.
I thought he was gonna, like, kill himself. He had that face.
Oh, he wants to on the inside. Because he has that face for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Even at his wedding.
It's so depressing.
Oh, it is. It's so lifelike. How many people from your graduating class would you say got married and pregnant right out of high school? I know of at least 3 in mine.
Yeah, a lot. I don't think, like, many people got preggers while in high school, so that's good.
Just immediately after.
Just immediately after they just got married. You know, it's fine, you know.
Yeah, if you did that, we're neutral.
No judgment.
Yeah. Then Brian is called up to give a speech. And I transcribed it here for you to listen. This is the biggest game of our lives. We worked really hard for it. We no longer want to win. We have to win. We're gonna win. Not just for you, or not just for us, but for you too. Thanks a lot. Cue raucous applause.
Thanks a lot, Tracy.
Was that her name? I thought it was
so.
Tammy. Oh, I think it was Tracy, yeah. But, yeah. And, all those stutterings were actually in the movie. And then Tom just sort of watches on in silence. And then we get a fun montage of the football team riding to their bus, or riding to their game in the bus.
Mm-hmm.
I like that the big game isn't, like, the focal point of the movie. It happens maybe, like, a half hour into the film, and then after that, it's just...
The consequences of it,
the fallout of what happens.
I don't know why I thought they were going to win.
Because you always root for an underdog, Saul.
Yeah.
Then the coach gives a rousing speech to the team while they're all in the locker room getting ready, and says that nobody believes they're gonna win. And he's like, well, show them!
Uh-huh.
And then we get the bout of the century. The Ampipe Bulldogs versus the Walnut Heights The Knights.
They should have just called themselves the Walnuts. Just have their mascot just be a...
No, the Knights. It makes perfect sense. Stefan's dads watch on in the audience.
Holding hands.
Yeah. I mean, secretly, though, because it was still the early 80s.
Holding pinkies.
Yeah.
Did you see any mascots in there? I don't think so.
The dog.
Oh. Oh yeah.
Because this was still when people used actual animals as mascots.
Yeah.
Before we invented the animal costume.
When the furries began.
Oh god.
Oh, that would have been cool though. Like a real dog, and then on the other side it's like a real knight.
That's what I was gonna say. Or a dog dressed as a man.
Oh shit. Or a walnut dressed like as a knight.
That'd be even cuter than the dog.
It would.
They just they have to have a huge magnifying glass or like a big television screen. It's just on like a stick that they move up and down.
Or like they pull it on a little cart.
A little carriage.
Yeah.
A walnut size. Oh no, it's a real carriage drawn by horse, but there's just a walnut on top. No driver. Walnut's doing that himself. Oh my god. At the end of the first quarter, there is no score because they're both so good. And then, I guess in the second quarter sometime, the Knights get a touchdown, and they fucking light off fireworks. They haven't even won yet. They only got a touchdown, and they're lighting off fireworks. Maybe
I think it's like psychological warfare.
They start blasting, like, pop music.
They already act like they won.
The walnut switches costumes to a general. Let's see. I think they don't say really when the quarters begin or end. It just sort of cuts around randomly.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the fourth quarter with 10 seconds left, the Knights have 10 points and the Bulldogs have 7. And
how does I don't get football, so
so let me think. So how much is a touchdown?
7?
I think it's, let me see. I'm pretty sure touchdown is 4 points, and then if you get the field goal kick, it's 3. Let's see. How many points is a touchdown worth? I'm gonna close this door a little bit. Oh, sorry, Dirk. Don't worry, I won't cut this out. Okay, so a touchdown is 6 points. And then, yeah, the opportunity for an extra point. So that means that the Knights got a touchdown and maybe a field goal, and the Bulldogs only got a touchdown, and then they had 1 extra point. But then Stefan catches the pigskin and runs it to the end zone like no football player ever has, with the ball just flailing in his hand, not even trying to hold it against his chest to keep it safe.
They had to tape it to him.
It's like what people do when they like get bottles of booze and tape it around their hands. Let's see. Then it suddenly starts raining very quickly.
I wonder if that was just a coincidence and they just rolled with it.
Just a sudden spout of rain. I like to think so.
Definitely not just like dudes in the bleachers with a
big hose. Then later in the game, I guess, Stefan gets called out by a ref for a pass interference, which I've never really understood. Like, you're a pass interference, you're trying to stop him, so what the fuck? And Stefan's like, they paid you, didn't they? Like, he's yelling at the ref.
You shill.
They bought you off just like the Patriots. Then, as the Bulldogs are about to run the ball, you know what happens?
They
fumble that shit.
Yeah.
And they lose it to the Knights, who win the game. Who could have seen that coming?
Not me, I guess.
I had some hope. Not much, but there's some hope.
That one scene afterwards is so depressing.
Oh, where they're all just sitting in silently.
Yeah.
And Salvucci is crying. And fucking Tom is just banging his head against the brick wall.
I like that the coach he said what I was thinking. He's like, it doesn't really, like, it's not very a convincing cry.
Oh. Well, those were leftover tears from when he got his dick smashed. God, can you imagine that happening? Like, your first period of the day, and then having to go the rest of the day and to football practice?
I guess he was fine if he played.
I guess so.
You just see, like, a giant cast on his crotch.
I was gonna say, like, a big, like, bulge or something.
The doctor said it wouldn't go down until, like,
8 years from now. He said there's a time range for the deflation, either 2 weeks to 8 years. And then, yeah, the coach comes in and he's like, what does he say? To get Stefan riled up? Do you remember?
He says how he, like, didn't do the play the way he wanted it, but then
that's right.
Stefan's like, well, you shouldn't have, like, told that one guy to play it like that.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's your fault, too.
And the coach is like, you quit on us!
Yeah.
And then Stefan yells, I didn't quit, you quit! And then the coach gets pissed off and,
tells him to pack his shit.
Yeah, tells him to get the fuck out.
He's like, what?
Yeah, and then coach kicks him off the team. And I thought they were just going to sort of ditch him in Walnut Heights. Because he doesn't let him on the bus.
Yeah.
He's like, you're going to have to ride with the cheerleaders. Oh, no.
It's like, okay.
How terrible for that. The cheerleaders and the band? I get to be with my girlfriend? But I guess he doesn't want to be with her because he yells at her when she tries to, like, come up and console him. And then he just sort of walks into this strange town.
Yeah. Tries to hitchhike.
Oh, yeah. He starts hitchhiking. And he gets picked up by some dude who I guess gives him a few cans of beer. And Stefan, now drunk and hitchhiking, pulls cans of beer out of his Letterman's jacket.
Yeah.
And the fat guy from earlier, Bosco, and his friends, they're heading back to town, so they give him a ride. But do you want to reveal where they're really going? Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun. So they go to Coach's house and just start, what's that word?
Vandalizing?
There we go. Vandalizing his property. I think the most fucked up one is, like, they hung a dead chicken.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
What the hell was that?
They hung a chicken by its neck in front of his door. He has a small girl, like a daughter, and a wife.
Mm-hmm.
And
they slashed his tires.
yeah,
too.
they slashed his tires. They spray painted on his wall, like, fucking get out of town.
Yeah, it's like
leave.
for sale.
I'm surprised they didn't fucking light a crucifix on fire. They TP'd his house. Like, how long were they in that town for? Because by the time they got to his house, he was already in bed sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least trying to. Because, like, he was just going over the plays in his head. He was like, God damn it, I should not have given him the ball. He was, like, getting pissed at himself, too. But... So they were in that town for quite a while if he was able to ride the bus home, get to the school, drive home, and then get in bed.
Well, what time would it have been? Because the football match was at night already. Right?
Yeah.
And if it's like spring, maybe like it's already 7:30.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, the car, they all climb out, and Stefan, he like takes some like a trash bag and sort of empties it out a little bit. He's like, that'll get him. And then he realizes what all the other drunk adult men are doing for this coach who lost a high school football team game. And he's like, oh shit, guys, you gotta stop. And that's when the coach's daughter tells him that there are some men in their front yard.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh my god, stay in bed, honey. And he like gets his golf club and starts for the door. And that's when all the other guys realize that he's there and they all scatter.
Yeah.
And Stefan hides behind the coach's now deflated Jeep. And what were you going to say?
He should have just, like, stayed there. I don't think he saw him until he, like, tried
Yeah.
to run away.
Yeah, so he tries to run to the cars, but nobody lets him in, and they all speed him away. And they all, yeah.
And he's still wearing the jacket.
Yeah.
So it's like, now you know who it is.
Huh, I wonder who that is. He has his name on the back. The next day, Stefan goes to the football practice and apologizes to the coach and asks if he can play in the last game of the season. Obviously, the coach isn't having none of it and tells him to fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes, Stefan goes, I guess, and watches his girlfriend and band practice for the rest of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then later they're walking home or something, and Lisa makes the good point that jocks get scholarships for nothing, while she'll never get one, because she wants to study music, and nobody cares about that.
She even swore.
Yeah, that, you know she was serious. Then she gets upset at Stefan for some reason that I can't remember.
Because he got mad at her.
Oh, that's
the night
right.
before.
He was just being a selfish dickhead.
Mm-hmm.
But then they make up.
And out.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Salvucci talks to the coach in the locker room about leaving the team to get a job to support his family because a bunch of people are getting laid off from, I guess, the steel mill or something. And then this fucking recruiter comes by and just doesn't acknowledge him at all.
It's like, hi, Hannah. Nice to meet you. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, he doesn't even say that. He continues to look at the coach. And then the recruiter asks if he could get some tapes on the players to review, including Stefan.
Preferably without any clothes on.
You have those shower cameras here?
The what?
But the Coach Nickerson, he's like, oh, you don't want Stefan. He's a asshole. He has an attitude problem. He's not a good guy. And the recruiter's like, oh, that's a shame. I guess I'll tell every other recruiter friend of mine.
I was expecting him to say, like, sir, do you have a grudge against a high schooler? No.
No. I'm pretty sure there's some guys at the bar who do.
Yeah.
One of them's the principal. Oh, yeah, and so Steph's other dad, Greg, got laid off from the mill also. And
maybe that's why Bosco thinks he can just, like, vandalize the shit out of it. Because he's the principal. What's the coach gonna do? Tell on him?
Oh my god.
Who's gonna fire me? Me?
Oh, good lord. So that night, after all that shit happens, Steph is drawing, like, designs for engineering projects he has ideas for, some of which include an underwater dome, and, what was the other thing? Was there another one?
Well, the one he, like, it had a shot of was, like, it kind of looked like a car part. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was just, like, some vague shape.
Yeah. I feel like...
Drawn by an engineer.
I wonder if Tom actually drew it.
Oh, he does. He does his own stunts.
The underwater dome made me think of that marching band SpongeBob episode. Maybe he designed it.
Oh my god. How did that work?
Because
they come from underground.
Oh, the episode?
Yeah, in SpongeBob.
Yeah, what? Huh.
Maybe that football field is just floating in the middle of the ocean.
Isn't there one in Australia like that?
I don't know.
Some type of stadium that's, like, in the water.
Let's find out. Australia Water Stadium. The Penrith Whitewater Stadium. But this... Well, that's just a pool at a... That's just a pool at a I don't even know what field that is. I guess gridiron or football or soccer.
Cricket? Or is it cricket?
I don't think cricket fields are that big.
Isn't that what that said?
Oh, is it? Oh, cricket fans. Yeah, I guess you're right.
How do you even play that sport?
You don't.
The horses do.
Oh shit. Sorry. Oh, where am I? I lost my place.
Something about cricket? Oh, his designs.
Oh yeah, he's designing some like new some layouts for cricket.
Have you ever seen Not Another Teen Movie?
Yes.
That one scene where like he compliments her drawing, and it's just like stick figures. It's like, wow, it looks just like your mom.
Chris Evans is in that movie.
Oh yes, I remember.
Is that where he has whipped cream on him?
Mm-hmm.
I hope he starts doing more comedic roles.
Yeah.
Now that he's done being Captain America. Did you know he has like severe anxiety, like social anxiety?
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Celebrities are just like us. They put their pants on one leg at a time. Unless you're Tom Cruise, and then you have a mechanism that you jump 5 stories and land in your pair of pants.
Maybe it's because he was frozen for so long.
What?
Chris Evans.
What, the Cool Whip?
No, it's social anxiety.
Oh.
You're still thinking of that?
Yeah.
It's okay. I would too.
Okay, so anyway, Stefan is doing some drawing, and Lisa is playing the saxophone outside, which sounds like The Simpsons.
It should have been that one song that's like all.
Or no, the epic sax guy.
No, it's like a very, what's the word? Like a sexy song.
Oh, like a Barry White song.
Fuck, I always forget the name of it. It's like. Oh, I forgot the name. She plays The Simpsons before it's a thing. Oh, it turns out she actually makes it out of town and becomes a big, famous music producer for TV shows.
One of which is Family Guy and King of Queens.
Oh, I love that show.
Really?
No.
Anyway, so Steph sees her and he runs outside like he shit his pants. He had a very weird run when he was doing. He was like hunched over a little bit.
Yeah, he was running as if she was leaving. Like at the end of the movies where he's like, "No, wait for me."
Then Lisa and Steph go upstairs to his bedroom, and she looks at all the drawings and everything, and she's like, so where are your dads?
They went out to a bar.
Yeah.
I wasn't invited for some reason.
They were wearing their leather tonight.
And a leash? I do like that she's the one that kind of like serenades him.
Yeah.
It's a nice little switcheroo.
Yeah, it is. Because that's her coming to terms and being comfortable with her own sexuality, so...
See,
it's
it would have
feminism.
been interesting.
Feminism 101.
It would have been interesting if, like, now he's the one, like, nervous about it because his friend just got a girl pregnant.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, and he didn't even use a condom.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to get pregnant, too.
Yeah, same. Dumbass.
Yeah,
he's
I know.
lucky.
He is very lucky. Well, he's also getting out of town, so maybe they just don't realize it yet.
Oh, jeez. At the end, she's like, by the way, can I come with you? I think I'm pregnant. He's like, oh,
he's like, hey, coach, wait for me.
Maybe we should take a break.
Oh, man. I'll call you when I get to California.
Maybe that's what happened to that one lady, the coach's wife.
What? Oh.
Because she tried giving her advice.
Yeah. She's like, you didn't have sex already, did you?
Wouldn't that be bad?
No. So yeah, they have sex, and first of all, Stefan was just wearing denim jeans commando style with no underwear on, which seems like it would hurt. Or at least be uncomfortable.
Yeah. And it's not like he knew she was coming over.
Yeah, that's true. But still,
Weird.
why would you do it? Second of all, I'm 90% sure you can see Tom Cruise's dick hidden in the shadows. Or maybe that body double. But I like to dream.
It probably was a double, or else the carpet does not match the drapes, you know?
I guess. It's
Or-
dark, though.
Wait, do blonde people have blonde?
Well, he's not blonde.
No, but I just mean, like, in
Oh.
that case of...
I don't know. Probably, like, dark blonde, maybe. Maybe brown. Or
Oh, that's why they call it fire crotch, right?
That's for redheads.
Yeah.
Also, it's crabs. So they have sex, and it's a fade transition from Lisa and Steph having sex
Oh, yeah.
to her practicing a song for Christmas choir at school.
First I thought it was church. And she's just like thinking to herself, oh, I'm such a whore. What am I doing here?
Why didn't I bring a condom? Yeah, so they're in the auditorium practicing, and Steph is chilling with his football buddies, while Salvucci just smokes a cigarette, and nobody cares or minds, none of the teachers.
Oh yeah. Where were they? School?
Yeah, they're in the auditorium again.
Oh. Okay.
Also, it's apparently almost Christmas.
Yeah, I guess it like skips a few months.
Yeah.
Because.
And Steph has not heard back from any recruiters, and later he goes and meets Brian at his wedding.
That was a good scene.
Where they're sitting out on the street,
Yeah.
talking
about what could have been.
Oh man. What else? Does anything interesting happen at the wedding?
Do they show the wedding? Isn't it just like they show that scene and then like the little after party?
Yeah. They also, is that when Tom starts talking about? Oh no, wait.
Xenu.
He starts talking about God. I can't remember. I have a note here that says Steph gives a drunken retelling of Football God and all
Oh,
that
yeah.
he created. Was that during that scene? Or was that later?
That was later during their party.
Oh, okay. I thought that... I don't know why I was thinking that was one thing.
What?
What?
I was curious. So I looked up when were condoms invented, and it says 1855, but that sounds...
Oh, that's when they were using fucking, like sheep intestines.
Yeah. Let's put commercial. Commercial.
When were condom commercials invented?
The rubber vulcanization process was invented by Charles Goodyear in 1839.
Oh, is he from the blimp? That's where they made him, up in the Goodyear blimp.
He's a creation. But yeah. So these kids are just dumb.
Yeah.
Is the point.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
They
think.
are very dumb. Where am I? Oh, that's right. So, a few days later in class, Vinny Salvucci is arrested for armed robbery.
Oh yeah. I would have liked to have seen like the actual crime.
It was like the when Dallas does it in The Outsiders.
Yeah. That would have been cool.
It's like, give me your winks.
And then he gets shot.
Yeah. We don't see him again. And I feel like, why did they do it in the middle of class? They made such a scene. He was like kicking desks and
Yeah.
everything. Like, just call him out to the hallway.
Then that girl was crying.
Oh, was that the dick girl?
No, I think it was Lea Thompson.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Her name is Lisa?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then later, Steph and Lisa go find the fat guy Bosco at the bar, and they politely ask him to tell Nickerson about what happened the night of the vandalism. But he's like, "What vandalism? Am I right, boys?"
Yeah.
And all of his
weren't
buddies
there.
are like, yeah, we don't know.
Please don't hit us.
Steph tells him that Nickerson is blackballing him from getting anywhere in life because he thinks he's to blame. And fat ass... Oh my god, what the fuck? So, the fat ass Bosco grabs Lisa by the wrists and holds her against him, like with her back against him, while his buddies just beat the shit out of Stefan against the side of the fucking bar.
They're like grown adults.
Yeah, they're like in their 40s at least.
Yeah.
And these 40-something-year-old guys just start beating up this teenager until the bartender stops him, which takes a little bit for him to do.
Yeah, and all he does is just like, hey, knock it off.
Yeah, what are you doing? Stop. Take it outside, assholes. And what the fuck?
All he does is put away the good glasses.
He puts away all the expensive stuff.
Here we go again.
The principal's at it. So, with that plan failed, Lisa goes to the Nickerson household and talks to Mrs. Nickerson. And they go on like a walk or something where she talks to him, and Lisa tells her that Stefan is just a kid who wants to go to college and be something, but her husband is stopping him. And Miss Nickerson says that she'll have to let Steph leave town for that to happen. And Lisa says that that's okay because she loves him. And then Mrs. Nickerson talks about the boy that she loved in high school. And what happened? He went to like in the military or something?
He, I think he also got into like football or something.
Did he?
Or something. College. And he left her behind.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, God, I loved him.
I haven't thought about him in 30 years, however old I am.
And now she's contemplating a divorce.
Oh, man.
She wants to find him.
Thanks, Lisa.
But, like, I guess that would be an issue, but, like, she could just go with him. I mean, it worked out for Jade.
That's true. Everyone listening should base their relationships on the relationship of David and Jade Butterfield in Endless Love.
Mm-hmm.
What was David's last name?
Axelrod? I don't know why I remembered it.
Oh, God. I'm glad that the names have progressively started getting less whimsical and porny.
Yeah, that was probably the most porn-like
Mm-hmm.
name.
I'm surprised Losing It didn't have like a bunch of just name innuendos. Then later, Steph lies in bed and asks one of his dads if he's ashamed of him.
The way you... Only Stefan is in bed, by the way.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So Steffi's like lying in bed, and then his dad comes in, and he's like, "Are you ashamed of me, Dad?" And he says that Steph is like, "You must have done something wrong for all this shit to happen." But his dad says that everyone is proud of him, especially himself, and that he understands what he's going through. And he's like, "It's gonna be okay, son. Don't worry." I like they have a good family dynamic, even though you don't really see it that much.
Yeah, it's like, don't worry, son. I hear they're opening a McDonald's, so...
Oh, what?
You like burgers, right?
And meanwhile, at the wedding, I guess, after party, they toast the Vooch, and Stefan and Lisa dance. And then later, they're talking to Brian, and what does he say? What does Steph say to him? He's like, so what does he do? Because Brian says that having a kid is more important than any damn college, with a very blank and dead stare.
He's like trying so hard to convince himself. But Stefan's like, yeah.
Yeah, sure. I can see the death in your eyes. Let's see. Then later, they give a drunken retelling of the football god and all that he created. On the 5th day was hot cheerleaders. On the 6th day was the player who fans paid to watch get hurt. And on the 7th, They all played football. And then 3 fucking guys dive onto a coffee table and break it for some reason.
Yeah.
And, what is it? Don't they, like, go out into the street again or something with Brian? And they're getting ready to go on their honeymoon? Which is, like, to, like, I don't know, fucking Pittsburgh or somewhere?
Wasn't that...
Was that before? Oh,
Yeah.
they were talking about that before?
Mm-hmm.
Still very sad.
Yeah.
Because, they're coming right back to this town. Later at a diner, Steph finds Nickerson and his wife eating and decides to go over to them, and he tells them that he was there the night their house got vandalized and apologizes, and then he walks away. Then Nickerson runs after him and asks what Steph is gonna do, and he's like, my dad got me a job at the steel mill that's gonna be hiring again. Oh well, I mean, I guess I could have been like any of my friends who are all going to college. Or you, who is also going to a college. And then he calls Nickerson out for being the decider of who gets to leave this shitty little town and who doesn't. And he's like, who would ever give so much power to a high school football coach? / type. He doesn't even call him a football coach. He calls him a typing teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just walks. No, he doesn't walk.
He runs.
Yeah, he runs into the night. And a week or so later, Tom is working at his job in the spark factory, because that's all there seems to be. It's just endless sparks flying in your face. With his other dad. And and then they leave work, and the bell or the whistle chimes. And they get off work. It's like the Flintstones. And he finds Lisa waiting for him. And, like, they hug and kiss and whatever, and then they're walking. And, they're walking with his dad's. And then they find Coach Nickerson waiting there with a keyboard. He's like, here's, type some more. With a clipboard. And, you want to say what happens?
Yeah. He finally realized that he was been a big asshole. Though it's almost understandable.
A little, yeah, I guess. He could have been a little more understanding.
Yeah, because it wasn't really his fault.
Yeah.
In a way.
But Steph was the only person he could really put blame on.
Yeah. So he offers him, what was it, like a scholarship?
Yeah, scholarship to California Polytechnic, which is the school that he'll be coaching at.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I want you to play football with me. Or for me. I want to play football with you right now here in the parking lot, and then I'll say bye to you forever.
One last game. And
if you can beat me in one-on-one football, then you can have this scholarship.
If you can type an essay faster than me.
Yeah. And then Steph asks his loved ones what he should do, and they all tell him to sign for it.
It's like, sign, you dumbass.
Yeah, what are you doing? You want to work here for the rest of your life? And then Steph signs without reading it.
Mm-hmm.
It could be an admittance of, like, I vandalized his house.
Or a deal with the devil.
That works for next week's episode. Or next month. Then Nickerson jokes about following the ball and takes off. And he's like, I'll be in touch or something.
Mm-hmm.
And Steph hugs his family and Lisa. And then there's a freeze frame ending of he and Lisa hugging and fade to an overview of the town and the factory. The end. That was an alright ending, I guess.
Yeah, it was pretty, like...
Would you have liked to see it continue to, like, him leaving town, or you think it ends in a good spot?
I think it ends pretty well, like...
It ends on an upbeat note. You don't really need that extra upbeatness, I guess.
It doesn't show, like, the rest of the fallout of Brian.
It does, like, the thing where it's, like, freeze frames of each character and, like, the writing appears.
Oh, yeah, what happens to them.
Yeah. Salvucci got arrested and sentenced to life in prison for killing a gas station attendant. Brian ended his life.
Oh, God. It's okay, I was thinking the same.
His daughter grew up without a father. Stefan's dads went on to start the first gay pride community of Ampipe. It did very successfully. Mm-hmm. Shocker, everyone in town is gay.
That's why there was only like 20 kids in that whole movie.
Kids. Do you have any afterthoughts about the film other than that it's just kind of depressing? What would you say is the most depressing film out of the 6 Tom Cruise films that we've watched so far?
I think Taps kind of beats it.
Oh yeah,
just because
that's
like
true.
how fucked up it got. I would think it's pretty depressing, other than Taps, because everything else is just like a little adventure movie.
Yeah.
Except for like
Endless Love, but
Yeah.
that's not really a Tom Cruise movie.
No. So yeah, it's definitely one of the more depressing ones because it's like really like
it's very real.
real. Yeah.
Any other thoughts before we get into the rating?
Not right now.
Any actors you thought were well done? Anything?
Brian's actor was pretty good.
Yeah.
He really sold that.
Yeah, that's
soulless
true.
Look.
He was a good actor.
Yeah, I don't think any of them were bad actors actually.
No, they were all very good actors, especially like the little like small roles of like the townspeople and everything.
Yeah, they were all
like it
pretty-
felt like a actual town.
Yeah.
So good on them for
Yeah.
being assholes.
I think the only parts where it got like a little bad were when they were dancing. That was the only one. Like, ooh.
It's no risky business. Yeah, so let's move right on to the rating. Here at the Cruising Altitude podcast, we have a special rating system. It is out of 21 teeth. 21 possible teeth. Sometimes we have caveats to those, such as fillings or... what was the other one?
Caps?
I think. Caps or cavities or whatever. Out of 21 teeth, what would you give this film?
I would give it a nice, 15 with a cavity. So, 15.5 out of 21. Not bad, but just, a little uneventful.
Yeah, I was going to give it a 17 originally, but after talking it over, I think I'm going to give it 16, but originally 17, but one tooth got knocked out during football practice.
And it's not a really expensive replacement. It's just
no, they never get it replaced.
Oh.
And it's one of the front ones, too.
Oh, no.
IMDb rates this as 5.9 out of 10. On Rotten Tomatoes, the tomatometer is 52%.
Ooh.
Yeah, not well on there. There's 62% on Metascore.
Everyone's a critic.
That's true, especially us. And Roger Ebert gave it a 3 out of 4 stars, and he also references losing it in his review.
Nice. Maybe he's doing the same thing as us.
Oh no, don't say that. Well, we ripped off Roger Ebert.
Who is that?
He's a famous film critic.
Oh, nice.
He had Siskel and Ebert at the Movies, which was a show where he and this other reviewer critic, I don't know how often it came out, but it was 3 films that they discussed and then rated. Mm-hmm. It's a really good show. I found a website that had all of them, just to watch for free, but I don't know what the fuck happened to it. So, Saul, at the Cruising Altitude podcast, we have a list, which I will hopefully remember to leave in the description, of our favorite Tom Cruise films. Currently, Risky Business is our favorite, with Taps coming in second, followed by Endless Love, The Outsiders, and at the very bottom is Losing It.
Yes. Well deserved.
Yeah. Where would you put All the Right Moves?
I think this one's a pretty,
Average?
definite for me, my opinion. Right below The Outsiders and above Losing It.
That's exactly where I was going to put it as well.
Yeah, because The Outsiders is really good.
Yeah.
And Losing It is not very good. It's bad.
And Tom Cruise does that sick backflip off a car hood.
Oh, yeah. That was cool. I'm pretty sure he fell.
He screamed like he did. So, let's see. that means that Losing It will go into 5th place, and... Or no, I mean, All the Right Moves will go into 5th place, and Losing It will continue to go down.
You should put that one clip of Filthy Frank. It's like, in the trash where you belong. Oh, I think it's like, no, your place trash. Okay.
All right, so are you gonna play it over your phone?
Oh no, I'm just gonna show you. I mean, you could.
Yeah, do it. I dare you. I fucking dare you.
What was the name of the actor that played David? I forget.
Martin Hewitt. Yeah. So that leaves us with Risky Business at number 1, and All the Right Moves coming in 5th, right in between The Outsiders and Losing It, that garbage movie. So let's move.
I almost want something to like be so bad. It's worse than Losing It.
I don't know if that's gonna happen.
I don't know.
At least not for a while.
Yeah.
But until then, Losing It is our benchmark for just terrible.
Oh, I just realized there was no like, oh, I guess there was still again.
What?
Like that one terrible, like.
Oh, that what the.
Terrible human being.
Yeah, so Tom Cruise movies seem to have a running theme of there is just one god-awful human being in each film. I'm going to say Bosco.
Yeah. At first I'm like, yeah, no one's really an antagonist. But yeah.
It's almost like that's a trope in all media, that there's one evil person.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't really... I guess he was an antagonist.
He didn't kill anyone, but he was awful.
He would have.
He would have.
All right, let's move on to the next topic.
Mm-hmm.
And moving on to the Tom Cruise news, something I did not write down beforehand. This is from CelebrityInsider.com, so I don't know how trustworthy this is. Has Tom Cruise finally found love with Handmaid's Tale star and lifelong Scientologist Elizabeth Moss?
Who?
Elizabeth Moss. I should have read this article beforehand, but it seems to be saying that Cruise famously married Katie Holmes and then broke up with her, probably when she was 33, because that's what's happened for his past 3 relationships. Moss is a lifelong... What does she look like? So who is Elizabeth Moss? Okay, I can't copy and paste on this shitty website. Okay, so it's her. She was in Mad Men. She was in Us.
Oh.
Did you see Us? The Jordan Peele movie?
I saw the previous one. It looked pretty interesting.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Is it a twist?
It's pretty obvious.
Oh, okay.
Oh, she was also married to Fred Armisen, who is a comedian and punk rocker who used to be on SNL. But that's really all the news for Tom Cruise this week, or this. I keep saying this week, this month. I hope once the new Mission Impossible and Top Gun films come out that there's more news about him that we can talk about. But
he's just very busy right now.
Yeah, I guess so. He's doing all of his own stunts. Until then, here's some self-promotion. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and PodBean, whatever that is, at the Cruising Altitude Podcast. And on Twitter, you can follow us at Cruising Podcast, at Smokey's Videos, and of course, always make sure to follow Tom Cruise at Tom Cruise. And on Instagram, you can follow Saul's meme account at DioSamaArt, or at Dio_Sama_art. And make sure to join us next month. We're finally breaking free of 1983.
Is it 1984?
No, he didn't have any films for 1984.
Oh.
We're going straight to 1985.
Right. Took a well-deserved break.
Yeah, after having 4 movies in the same year. For 1985's fantasy film Legend, which I can't wait.
Have you seen it before?
No. Have you?
I like look at the list every once in a while of his like filmography, and the poster for it looks pretty interesting.
Yeah, I don't think it's. I'm pretty sure Legend is maybe the third worst rated.
Oh no! I was expecting like what's that one Stephen King called? Something Tower.
Oh, the Dark Tower.
Yeah,
He wasn't in that.
no, but I'm just like expecting that kind of movie.
Or The Mummy, which I think is the lowest rating, even more so than Losing It.
Oh dang! Really?
Yeah, I can't wait to get to that one. Did you ever see the?
I have very faint memories of seeing it as a kid.
No, the new Mummy.
Oh, the new one.
The new one that came out like 2 years ago.
Oh.
That was gonna start off the Dark Universe.
Ooh. Were they trying like a whole Marvel thing with it?
They're trying to do that, but with the Universal monsters.
Oh, see, that's kind of cool. But
It would have been cool,
but they just.
but
fucked
it
up.
wasn't. There was leaked footage from when that before it came out of like just like test footage of a plane crash, and it has like stock sound effects and no music, and it's just Tom Cruise screaming.
Oh, someone should do that though. Just like all the monsters, like in the whole expanded universe, like.
I think they already did it in the 30s.
Oh, damn.
But yeah, it failed and is now dead.
Oh.
They were gonna have Angelina Jolie be Bride of Frankenstein and Johnny Depp be the Invisible Man.
The Invisible Man. That's like a monster?
I get, yeah. He had the Universal film, so technically, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, join us next month for Legend 1985, and we'll see you then.
Goodbye.
We should think of something to say regarding Tom Cruise.
And
And we're cruising it.
that's good.
All right, bye.
See ya.